I would now turn to the ranking member, Senator Coons, for his statement.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And I first want to thank Chairman McConnell. He has been a great partner this year, and our working relationship on this important bill is what I think the American people would be proud to see out of their elected leaders. We see eye to eye on today's critical national security challenges: deterring China, standing with Ukraine, standing up to the increasing coordination of the People's Republic of China, Russia, Iran, and the DPRK, maintaining our asymmetric advantage of our global network of allies and partners, and modernizing the DoD with a sense of urgency because the clock is ticking. That is not to say that this has been easy tackling these problems. The administration submitted the latest budget in history. We received some official budget documents last Friday, and others are still missing. And for the first time in history, the administration decided to split its request into discretionary and budget reconciliation sections, which, as the chairman has noted, has not worked well. This decision and OMB's inability to explain it thoroughly and the challenges the Armed Services Committee faced as a result subjected our national security to an uncertain partisan process, but also ended up creating $10 billion of shameful mistakes and disconnects that were utterly unnecessary. We've also, frankly, had to deal with a Secretary of Defense more focused on fighting culture wars than deterring real ones, and a Director of National Intelligence too focused on distributing disinformation than supporting unbiased analytical work. It has been hard to get answers to basic questions and to figure out the best ways to use this bill to invest in and help expand the capabilities of our military and intelligence community. Time again, when we did get solid or timely information, it was our professional military and career civilians who got it to us. This bill is better because of them, and I thank them for it. In summary, the bill before the committee recommends $852 billion for DoD and our intelligence community, an increase of $21.7 billion or 2.6% above the fiscal year 26 request. This bill reduces waste and duplication by making hundreds of cuts to underperforming programs and realigning those billions of dollars in savings into higher priority programs. Let me just make a point here about rescission. Rescission accomplished by a party line vote outside the appropriations process is corrosive to our role and to trust. But doing it this way, oversight, rescission, and reallocation of billions of dollars within the appropriations process is constructive. And anyone who wants the details of the rescissions and reallocations that were accomplished through this bipartisan process, I'd be happy to give you those details. One of my highest priorities was our allies, and this bill delivers. Thanks to the chairman's leadership, we restore aid to Ukraine and add additional funds on top for $800 million and restored $225 million in security assistance to the Baltic states, which the request had cut. These allies are on the absolute front line of resisting Russian aggression, and we are learning critical lessons about the future of warfare, as well as standing with those who fight for freedom. Learning these lessons from Ukraine, we include critical change in the Army's budget, most notably funding their shift to rapid, affordable, attritable UAVs and counter-UAV technologies. We also made lots of improvements in the underlying request. Given the challenges with missile stockpiles that we're seeing in Ukraine and the Middle East, I can't explain why the administration didn't propose to buy every single missile it could on existing production lines and expand others, but it didn't. So we took the savings that we found to buy $5 billion more in munitions because we must increase our nation's magazine depth. We make significant investments in shipbuilding, especially submarines. We restore next-generation platforms like the Navy's sixth-generation fighter and the Air Force's E-7 early warning aircraft. Again, I can't explain why the department wanted to wait on Navy fighters or Air Force early warning programs, or why submarines were cut in budget reconciliation, but we identified these issues and addressed them appropriately. We also make significant down payments on readiness across the services. Once again, I can't explain why the administration continues to raid these accounts for unrelated immigration enforcement, or why budget reconciliation cut these accounts, but we have added funds for readiness and training. As the chairman mentioned, $1 billion for the Marine Barracks 2030 program, which the Armed Services Committee left out of reconciliation. We also added a 3.8% pay raise for the entire military, as well as other quality of life initiatives that I think we value as we invest in military families as well. We got rid of the basic housing allowance for service member and families 95% and raised it to 100%, a 6-year-old problem, and we fully fund the child care fee assessment program. In sum, this bill recognizes we're confronting a world more dangerous today than at any time since the Cold War, that we all need to focus, put politics aside, and get to work. I urge this committee to support this legislation. As the chair referenced, 95 senators filed 11,000 requests. I want to thank and recognize the subcommittee staff who assisted the chairman and me on this bill. The buck stops with us, but the staff at our direction conducted critical oversight of DOD and the intelligence community, bringing to us what they found. I want to thank the members of my staff, Gabriella Armanda, Dylan Bird, Abby Grace, Bridget Kolish, Rob Leonard, and Ryan Pettit, and thank Chairman McConnell's staff, Rachel Dapieve, Laura Forrest, Megan Handel, Cole Hodge, Robert Karam, Alexa Lorick, Todd Phillips, Kim Segura, Cole Spiller, Tom Schaefer, and Elise Stiebeck. Every day this year, these two teams have worked together seamlessly to do the right thing for our national security. Their long nights and weekends are why we are ready to proceed with this bill. I hope they get some sleep. Last, I hope my colleagues will consider what our legacy will be. We cannot run our national security on a continuing resolution. Please join with the chair and vice chair and the chair of this subcommittee in supporting all of our appropriations bills. Thank you, Madam Chair.